Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm going to be doing another Powerpuff Girl today. This one is actually going to be my Powerpuff Girl. Now granted, she's a little snatched in the waist, but that's my business. Mind your business. It's okay. I'm going to get there soon. I'm going to get there. Everything else is pretty accurate. But I already have a Powerpuff Girl that has my old hair color. You know, I'm in my green season. My hair is green now. It's been like that spicy orange for some time. I did have a phase where I went to and I made my hair like pink. It was like a neon pink. That was a time. What a time, what a time. They say blondes have fun. No, pink girlies have fun. That was a time to be alive. Now I'm in my green hair era. I'm in my taffiti era. So I'm excited for that. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna revamp everything. I don't know how long my hair is gonna be green, but until I'm over it, I might just let it fade out. But if I'm really liking it, I might just leave it green because my hair was copper. They're calling it copper now. Ugh. My hair, it's been orange, like a spicy orange, burnt orange for some time, like years. And out of nowhere, I just woke up and everybody just had, it was like the new trendy thing. So I was over it, so I went pink. I was like, nobody has pink hair. Okay, I guess I'll go pink. My hair was light enough for it and I didn't have to bleach it to get there. So I was like, all right, I let my orange fade out and then you put the pink on top and it worked. It was like a fluorescent lava girl pink. I'll probably post a picture somewhere on the screen so you can see it. But now it's green. We're green now. I'll post a picture too so you can see that as well. And yeah, but when I dyed my hair pink, for whatever reason, everybody at my job decided to dye their hair pink too. I work at a hair salon, by the way. That's one of my side hustles. So, and I was just like, ugh, I changed it from the orange because everybody had my color and I didn't feel special anymore. That was my thing. And now the girls are calling it copper now. I was like, okay, I guess. Whatever. I turned into Beyonce. I woke up looking like me. Actually, that's not Beyonce. That's somebody else's song. She just like sampled that part of the song, I guess. Well, not really a sample. She just used the bars, I guess. I don't know. That's besides the point. But yeah, so new beginnings. Nobody has green. Nobody has green. So I'm back to being original. And at first when I dyed my hair green, I didn't know how to feel about it. I did not know how to feel about it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it either. It was just different. That's the best way I can describe it. But different isn't always a bad thing, you know? It was just different. I just took some time getting used to. Had to get used to having green hair. And not necessarily the color. I went like a forest green, so it wasn't like a neon green or anything like that. So it was darker than what I'm used to. My hair is always like a light color, like a carrot. Even when my orange would fade, it would fade. The color would fade out, and then it would fade to like the color that's underneath, you know, would come out, which is like a blondish brown color underneath. So there's that. So that's what prompted this new Powerpuff Girl. And by the way, just so you guys know, I'm using the Sketchbook app. This is what the app looks like. There are definitely better apps out there for sure, but you have to pay for them and you have to learn how to use them. This one, I'm new to digital art for sure. There's still lots to learn. So it's honestly, it's just like a good starter app for digital drawing. And once you get like the concept of it, I guess you can elevate to a better app like clip art or Or the other one, I can't even think of the name right now. It looks like a P. I can't think of the name. I really can't think of the name. It looks like a P. If I could find it, I'm gonna post it on the screen as well. Those are more elaborate, but you have to pay for it. Like, I'm sure like there's more you can do with this app alone. I'm new to the game, so I can't necessarily show you how to use it. I'm always an artist at heart, you know, so I'm gonna figure it out. But I'm sure I'm not using this app to its full abilities. So it is the app I am using, and it is free, and there's nothing that you have to pay for. At least I don't think there is. I'm sure there's like a pro version, but honestly I don't know. Now I think about it. Food for thought. But with this one, like, everything on there is free. Nothing, you're not limited, so you can use all the brushes, all the settings. Like, the only thing that you're limited on, that I know for sure you're limited on, so I guess there is a pro version, is how many layers you can use. I don't know, the number 120 came to my head, so I think the number of layers you can have is 120 layers. But that's the only like thing that I could say that is a setback, I guess, like a down. What's the word I'm thinking of? You know how there's like a pro and con. There we go. One of the cons. The pro is it's free. It may not be as advanced as the other ones, may not have as much tools, but again, that comes with knowing how to use it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not necessarily the person to teach you how to use it. I'm learning it as I'm going as well, and I've been doing more so simple art with this, more for fun. It's more for, because I'm used to like pen and paper kind of art. Like, that's where I get my precision from, and those take a while, honestly. And because I'm so deep in it, it takes days and it creates a mess. This one is easy, it's on the go, and it's not as precise, so I'm enjoying the process more, living in the moment of the drawing and not focusing on it being so perfect as I am on the pen to paper kind of drawings, which is still, you know, a skill of its own, but just so art could be fun. I like to spice it up, like to do different mediums. Like, painting is another way that I like to express myself artistically. Painting isn't my strongest at all. The furthest from being like a strong painter, but you know, I know enough to like create something. Honestly, everything is art, so even if it looked like a third grader did it or a kindergartner did it, it's still art to somebody. You know, not everything has to be Picasso. Like, you know, Picasso, for example, is like different. It's not like, or Keith Haring, or like nothing is like specific. Like, you know, like it's its own thing. It's not super detailed in a way where you have to look exactly like a person, the texture of the skin, you know, stuff like that. Keith Haring didn't even necessarily have faces on his art. Not that I can think of, like those like, they're not stick figures, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like those figurines of people. Like those, you know. But yeah, so like the digital art and like painting is more of like the free, like me being artistic but being free without it being so tedious and precise and perfect. I could just be free artistically to do whatever I want, and however it comes out, I'm happy with it, you know. It's not as meticulous and precise, and I like that, because a lot of times that's why I didn't create a lot of things, is because focusing on trying to make it perfect. And especially when I'm doing portraits of people, like when I do color pencils and markers, it's like I like doing those type of, when I'm doing like something realistic, that's the medium I go for. If I'm wanting something realistic, maybe digitally. I'm not there yet. I have created a face, like on the realistic side, but it's still like digital. It's not like super realistic where it has a whole bunch of details in it. But it's still, I'll show you what it looks like right here. That was like my first attempt on doing something more intricate digitally. And it's fun branching out, and it was different, and I was able to mirror the image, so it's like perfectly symmetrical. So I only drew half the face, so that was fun. But yeah, I like painting at the park. That is something I want to integrate onto my channel. I want to do like park painting, and I want to. That's some of the ideas that I have. I want to invest more time into my channel. I'm going to be posting more often, and being more consistent now that I have now that I don't have to be so perfect with everything. Not everything has to be a whole grand setup where lighting and angles, like something like this is so simple. And I'm going to start doing, I'm not only going to do digital art, but it's just going to be a little filler in between my bigger projects that I'm going to be working on. So, and I'm going to do them on landscape. The only reason why they're vertical when portrait, because of the drawing itself is a portrait drawing, and it's literally just screen recording myself as I go, and it's more convenient to do it the orientation that it's supposed to be in. But so I know a 20-minute video is going to be a little for a a vertical video. Like, I don't watch vertical videos, like when it comes to like artsy stuff. Like, that's like for reels. So like videos like this should be horizontal or landscape, however you want to interpret that. But it's still, so I'm gonna create things that are in landscape form, so it could, I don't know, I personally prefer landscape. But yeah, I'm going to still do other artsy things, not just this. I want this channel to still stay fun and creative and spontaneous. It's always going to be something creative at the end of the day, but it's always going to be a different medium. For one day I could be tufting a carpet, and the next day I'm painting at the park, the next video, and the video after that a digital one of me doodling something on my spare time. Like, I want it to stay fun. So because I noticed I had a pee phony the other day. The reason why a lot of times I stop watching videos is because it's repetitive. Even though I love that person, their videos are just really repetitive, like the style of it, and I personally get bored, and I stop gravitating towards their videos. Not because they're not funny or charismatic, it's just I personally just get bored of the content. So I want to look at it from that point of view, to make sure I keep things spicy in a way where every video is different. It's something else, something new every time. But I do want to create a series on my channel where I create different where I do like painting at the park sessions, and some of them may be by myself, and some of them may include a guest who is not necessarily an artist, but they're just there expressing themselves. Because I do this regularly by myself. I go to the park, I go to canvas, I set up the table with some water and some brushes, and I just paint. And sometimes I invite somebody with me. So I might just make this a series, but it's not just us painting. It's gonna be topics discussed. So, and yeah, and I want to incorporate like art vlogs as well, because I be outside low key. So I could definitely, do something fun in that sense of something, you know, that I've noticed like art vlogs is becoming a thing, and I you know, I could do that too. If that's something that people like to see, I could definitely create that. And it's not as, you know, meticulous to create. I just living in the moment and capturing it and sharing it with you guys. So definitely gonna try to be more consistent for sure on this channel. And it would be awesome if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe. You know, I'm very interactive, so I don't have a large audience at the moment. So I'll get back to you sooner than later, if that makes sense. And I want to be interactive with you guys. And I randomly started posting these little speed drawings, and I didn't expect much traction in it at all. And I just noticed that I was getting more views than I was expecting. I was like, oh, I didn't know anybody was checking for me. So definitely motivated me to make more of them. And the more that I made, the more views that I got. And it's only been 3 of them. So definitely, that's what you guys like to see. I will incorporate that. But I'm going to be incorporating other things as well. Like I mentioned, like vlogs and all these other creative things. I'm still going to be doing customs on stuff. I might do some shoes soon. I got these bust down heels that I have that I refuse to let go of. And like the heels are so scuffed up. They're like some block heels. And the front is a little scuffed up too. But I can fix it. I don't want to give up on them. Like they're like the comfortablest heels ever. That's why they're so busted down, because I literally wore them while I was changing my battery in my car. Like let me not exaggerate. I personally was not changing the battery in my car. My dad was, but I was standing on the sidewalk comfortable over his shoulder, helping him with the light under the hood of the car. Like I was comfy, but I feel like I can save them. I'm thinking on putting like a dragon or something funky around the block of the heel, and I feel like I could patch up the little scuffed part at the front of the heels as well. I can save these shoes. I know I can. So I'm looking forward to that. Like that is a project that I've been putting on the back burner that I didn't necessarily have time to do. Just so you guys have an insight on my life. Like I work every day. I mentioned earlier that I work at a salon, and I'm also an esthetician as well. And I work there where I do services like nails. So you might see a nail video every now and again, just for it's another creative outlet. You know, I'm a creative, crafty girl that does a lot of crafty things. So it's just gonna be my outlet to express those random crafty things that I like to do. Whether it be bookbinding, nails. Like it's still, my nails are canvas. They're like little tiny canvases, and I got 10 of them to share with you guys. I could do like little spooky seasons coming up. So I'm thinking of some ideas of some things that I would like to do for you guys. And yeah, for spooky season, make sure you guys get it right. Want some funky ideas. If you have any ideas that you would want me to do, you could put them in the comments below so that I can get to it. Because I have some ideas, but you know, some more ideas would be cool too. So if you have any ideas of anything that you would want me to do for spooky season, let me know. I have some nail ideas that I would want to post on there. So maybe the next time, Wednesday today is Monday, by the way. So I'm gonna try to post this on the same day that I'm editing it. But yeah, so maybe I'll create some Halloween nails, spooky season nails, and maybe that'll be my next video. I don't know, but definitely looking forward to getting to know you guys and you guys getting to know me. Again, I'm just a crafty girl that likes to do crafty things, and I want to share it with you. This is my outlet. Looks like we're almost done, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, it would mean the world to me if you would like, comment, and subscribe. Looking forward to the journey with you guys. I'm gonna try to stay consistent as I can be. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye. Love you.